One is State Representative Kenneth Green, and the other is State Representative Minnie Gonzalez. We'll first hear from State Representative Kenneth Green.
Good morning. I also want to introduce, we have a state representative from New Britain, Connecticut, Representative Tim O'Brien, also here with us today. When you think about the Jena 6, a lot of our speakers have already said, can it happen in Connecticut? Not only can it happen, it is happening. All right, it is happening. We have had situations where workers on their jobs have been left with nooses near their cars. We have had police officers, we have had state marshals have to be victims of racist propaganda. So it is happening. If you look over here to our state capitol, Representative Gonzalez, Representative O'Brien, and I, we have to go up there every day and we have to fight for the people that are of color, the people that are certain incomes, because it's about race and class in this country. Let's not forget, it's about race and class. And somebody mentioned that earlier. Rich folks, regardless of the color, sometimes have privileges that some of us don't have. We have a lot of work to do at the Capitol. And I want to say, we can think globally, but let's act locally. We know something's happening. We know something is happening in Louisiana. Let's make sure that we keep watch of what's happening in Hartford and what's happening in Connecticut. Based on some recent events by some individuals in Cheshire, we're going to be debating some get tough laws. We do not need just the people from Cheshire and just the people from Southington to come up and testify. We need you to come up and testify and say, let's be reasonable, let's be compassionate, and let's understand that just because a person goes into the criminal injustice system, I saw a sign, it's not the criminal justice system, it's the criminal injustice system for a number of us. I like this sign here, act now to stop war and end racism. War and racism have continued to war and racism have continued to take resources away from the people in this country to change the system. In Connecticut, Connecticut has the largest achievement gap between black, Hispanic, and white students in the country. Connecticut is not the richest state anymore, it's the second richest state, but we have the largest achievement gap. If you really think about it, if we want to change racism here in Connecticut, we have to make sure that all of our children get educated adequately. We have to make sure all of our children have jobs and job opportunities. One of the things that I will hope that we do is we just don't talk. Let's be about action. I have proposed a bill that said that every 16-year-old that's in school and every 16-year-old that want a job should be guaranteed a job so that our companies don't say that black and Hispanic kids are not ready to work. Our young black and Hispanic kids need job opportunities, they need education, and we need to make sure that we do something so that they have an opportunity. Do not wait until they're 18 and 19 and say, what can we do? We know what we can do, let's act. Please push us as state legislators to make sure that we do what we know we're supposed to do. Do not let us get off easy. We're in this fight together. Let's end racism now.
Let's give another hand to Representative Green. We also have another, in fact, we have two local state reps and also the state rep from New Britain. So next we'll hear from State Representative Minnie Gonzalez. I got to load the mic a little for her.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm here in support of this event, and I'm here against discrimination. As a female and a Puerto Rican state representative, we've been working very, very hard to avoid all these kind of problems and to see justice. But sometimes, like my friend says, we work hours and hours, and sometimes we feel like we're alone. But today, I see that we're not alone. But we have to see this more often. We have to stick together. We have to work together because I would like to see one Connecticut and one Hartford and justice for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Gonzalez. We also have one of our representatives from New Britain. After all, this is a Connecticut rally. We're glad to see so many people from across the state and even, as I said before, North Carolina here. So we want to ask Representative Tim O'Brien from New Britain to come up, please, and say a few words.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be able to be here. And it's very important to be having this because of what's going to happen this year. As Representative Green pointed out, the legislation that's going to be brought to us to try and make it harder for people to be able to get through the criminal justice system and have a real life. This is a very important year that's coming up on this front. And it's important that we remember that the problems that have occurred in Jena are not isolated. We cannot allow the debate about race to be put aside so that people in Connecticut can say, that's way far away, it's not here. It is here. We have one of the most atrocious systems of criminal justice in the country. 3/4 of the people who are in jail are either African American or Latino. That's just unacceptable. We have to be pointing out how racism is, how it actually occurs in thousands of little decisions that average everyday people make all the time. Racism is not about a few isolated incidents far away. It's about many incidents that occur every day right here in our state. We have to talk about that as an issue, and this should be the inspiration for fixing all of those problems, not just in Louisiana, but right here in Connecticut too. I'm proud to be here with you. Thank you.
I hear a lot of our teachers are here and the school administrators. We also have a state representative who is also a teacher and a school administrator, and that's Representative McCory, and we're going to ask him to please come up and say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm sorry I'm late, and I'm sure my colleagues have done an excellent job of explaining to you what's going on in our state of Connecticut, in our city, in our country. It's unfortunate that we're in this situation. It's 2007. We're still dealing with the fact that we have racism. Even though we even have to have this conversation, it's a problem. Like was said earlier, in this state, 75% of the people who are incarcerated in adult prisons are people of color. 85% of the young people that are in the juvenile justice system, which is the breeding ground for the adult justice system, are people of color. That's a problem. We need to see you all, not just here, but when we up there fighting every single day. The battles you see that we take on, they're not shown on television. They're behind closed doors. That's what we laid on the line. That's what we explain to people. This has to stop. This has to stop in our employment, in our schools, every aspect of our society. We have racism. And sometimes we feel that there's no justice in our system. It's just us that's in this system. We are becoming this justice system is the new slave system. We are the products of a new society, and we're being used and we don't know it. We have to stand up and fight every single day. When you see something that is occurring on your job, that's wrong, and you know it has something to do with it. Even if you feel it has something to do with it, you have to say something. We have to have our young people, give them the power to stand up and say something. Jena 6 was started because young people challenged adults and said, can we sit under that tree? It wasn't the older people. It wasn't the people that came along during the civil rights movement. It was young people, and you are the young people that's going to lead and change the society. I have faith in you. We have to educate you. We have to provide you with the historical references that this does not just start in 2007. This has been going on since 400 years. And sometimes we don't remind ourselves and we don't remind our young people of the struggles and tribulations that we have to go through. We want to make it feel as though it was in the past. It wasn't in the past. It's been passed on.